What's up everybody, welcome back to another safety meeting gameplay series. Today we're playing Subnautica, but we're changing it up a little bit. We're kind of reverting back to day one. I had started a Subnautica series a couple of weeks ago, but with this recent update that they just came out with, they recommended a brand new game save. So what I decided to do with the amount of updates that they had, and the change in the biomes and things like that, I just decided let's go ahead and start from scratch again. So one of the new updates, you're looking at it right now, is the splash screen, so to speak. They added water to the menu. Now I know that's not terribly exciting, but they did add a couple of cool things, and one of them is the ability to sit down in chairs and benches now. If you're sitting and you open up your PDA, it's not going to go against your food and thirst. So it's kind of like pausing the game a little bit so you can relax. The biggest update is new biomes and new locations on the map. And I haven't gone around and explored any of this stuff, so I don't know what any of it looks like just yet. And then also, a big change in the survival aspect is your bases, the sea moth, and the cyclops. They all require power in order to generate oxygen. Before, you could just build a base and you had an unlimited supply of oxygen. Now you actually have to power the base before you can use it, which I think that's a really cool thing, because it's going to make you work for your property now. And then the last update are the blueprint fragments. Now it says that most of the blueprint fragments are going to be found inside shipwreck segments, but from what I saw, that hasn't been the case. They're actually scattered around even more, is what it seems like to me. But they did change a couple of the things as far as the sea moth. It's not the fragments anymore. You're actually looking for sea moth pieces, and I think you have to scan 5 of them. So there's been a couple of changes there as well. So I just wanted to go over the new updates real quick before we started. So let's get this new game going here, and we are obviously going to play in survival. I think maybe the next series I'm going to do a hardcore series, and whenever I die, that'll be the end of the series. So hopefully it'll last a while. But for now, let's see what these new updates look like.
Attention. Hull failure imminent. All personnel abandon ship. Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, here we go. We're gonna let her go through her whole spiel here, and then we'll get started.
Survival in emergency situations. You have been issued this personal data assistant. The interface visible now will organize your inventory, display currently available construction blueprints, and holds other valuable information. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with it.
We are gonna familiarize ourselves with this in a little bit. For right now, let's get right down to business. Now, if you've never played this game before, what my plan for this series is to make these relatively quick episodes and have them pretty detailed as far as how to craft things and how to do certain things, basically. So it's going to be a let's play slash walkthrough style, I guess would be the best way to describe that. So I'm not going to go into detail everything right off the bat. I'm not going to go and explain every button and what it does.
Detecting increased local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with ongoing degradation of the Aurora's dark matter drive core due to
She
damage
talks a lot.
sustained during collision. Continuing to monitor.
Alright, so what I'm going to do, because I'm eventually going to go through everything anyway, we're just going to go through it as we need it. So for right now, here's our crash pod, and just to kind of give you an idea, that's what we just blew up from. Apparently we were floating above the planet here and we crashed. So now we're just in this giant ocean. and we have this little pod to survive in. And right now everything is broken in here except for we have our fabricator, which I'll show you that in just a second. We also have some hidden storage right here. And right now we don't need the fire extinguisher, so we're gonna swap out the fire extinguisher. We got flare, a nutrient block, and filtered water. So we're gonna grab both of the waters for right now. And with a nutrient block, you can see food plus 75. Now, down here on the left, you can see that we have oxygen, health, food, and thirst. And we're at 40% right now of hunger. So if we ate this nutrient block, it's gonna give us 75. So since it starts us out pretty hungry, I'm just gonna munch down one of these right off the bat. So now we're good on that. And here's what I like to do first. There is a tool called the scanner, and this is our fabricator. And what we want to do is go under personal tools, I think, and scanner. We need 2 pieces of titanium, and we need to craft a battery. So for the battery, what we need is electronics and 2 acid mushrooms and copper ore. So that's going to be our first goal for this episode, is to get that scanner built. And what that does is it allows us to build our habitats, and it basically allows us to build everything. So here's our environment. It looks like we actually got a pretty cool spawn area. Now the spawn area isn't very big, but I've had my pod actually spawn like almost on top of these rocks and things like that, which kind of sucks. Getting my head. Alright, so what we want to do is come down here, and this is our version of ore. So we got copper right off the bat. We just want to go around and grab some of this ore and see what we can find. It's probably going to be just a lot of copper and titanium, but that's exactly what we need right now. And we have to pay attention on the left to our oxygen level. If our oxygen level goes down, then you probably can guess what happens after that. And here's how we make a battery. These are acid mushrooms. So we're gonna grab a couple of those. Now for the most part, you're pretty safe around a lot of these creatures, like those big fellas over there. They're not deadly or gonna hurt you or anything like that. But it seems like since this newest update, the creatures that do like to hurt you, they venture out farther to do it now, and a little bit more often. So it's a little scarier down in the depths now. Now one of the things we could do for quick titanium is we have all of these metal salvage pieces everywhere.
10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Better get up. Come on. Alright, so that's gonna get us enough for our scanner, I believe. And I'm also grabbing some of this quartz. Quartz can make glass, and one of the first things that I want to do is make some air tanks.
Caution. Continued degradation of the Aurora's drive core may cause a quantum detonation. Calculating risk assessment. Death by malnourishment, 7%. By physical injury, 11%. By exposure to
that's the
radioactive
Aurora,
crash site materials,
that's gonna blow up soon.
If the drive
So
core
that's what
is
she's
breached,
going on about right now.
probability of death increases to 65%.
Alright, I think she's done. Alright, so we want to make the scanner, and I'll show you in my inventory real quick. So we've got a couple of pieces of titanium, some copper, and here's our metal salvage, and you'll see the smaller stuff only takes up 1 square, and the metal salvage takes up 4. So you have to be careful on how you organize your inventory, or you can actually load it up pretty quickly. So we can turn that metal salvage into 4 pieces of titanium by just doing that. And this is how you make glass. It's turning that quartz into glass right now. Alright. Alright, so first thing we want to do, let's make a battery. So the battery is the 2 mushrooms and copper ore. So we have that. We have enough titanium now to make our scanner. Alright. So here's what we're gonna do. Hopefully it's not nighttime. We're gonna go and try to find a couple of things to scan. Ooh, it's almost nighttime. Maybe we'll make a flashlight. Let's grab some more titanium. Also, let's grab a couple of these guys. We got a boomerang. These cute little guys are peepers.
New creature discovered.
Now these guys, we can eat. Let's grab a couple more of these.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Alright, well I'm gonna make the air tanks and stuff and get us ready for the morning. Now the air tanks, they are your best friend in this game. For me anyway. If you look over on the left, our oxygen is 45 out of 45. And that doesn't last very long. So what we can do, here I think it's under personal equipment. O2 tanks. We just need 2 titanium and 1 glass. So hopefully I have enough to make 2 of these. Alright. So now you can see our oxygen just went from 45 up to 105. So now we can stay underwater a lot longer. And also, let's cook up that peeper. So if we go to food, go to cooked food, we can cook our peeper. And also, let's see, did I grab an air? No, we'll cook the boomerang as well. Now if you cook these and don't eat them right away, they spoil within just a couple of minutes. So as soon as you cook them, it's advisable just to eat them right away. I don't really actually need to eat right now, but they do help with your thirst as well. You can see food 21, water 3, food 31, water 4. So each animal has a different food and water priority. Okay, so we can make some more titanium. Let's do that. So now what our scanner does, once we hold it, now we can go around and literally just scan things. And you'll see what I mean here in a second.
Warning, local radiation readings exhibit characteristics consistent with total degradation of the Aurora's dark matter drive core.
Let's see if we got enough to make a flashlight.
With a probability of 85.5%. Advise observing a 1 kilometer safety range.
I almost have enough for a flashlight. Let's go grab some quartz. Now, I don't think nighttime is more dangerous than the daytime, other than the fact it's harder to see. I trapped myself into a cave once because I couldn't tell which way was up or down. It was too dark. But it doesn't seem like the animals get more aggressive or anything like that. I might be wrong, but it doesn't seem that way. There we go. Alright, so now we got a flashlight to play around with, so let's go down and see what everything looks like. Now the flashlight does require batteries, so you can see that we have an energy level, and when it goes down we'll have to craft a battery. And to recharge it, as long as you, I think it's as long as you have a battery in your inventory, you can hold down R, and it'll actually recharge whatever item you're holding in your hand. Oop. So there's one of the mean fellas right there. And those, I think, are what the animations got changed on. They made them look even meaner. Ooh, there's something to scan right there. So this is what we need to scan. Are these little boxes? Where did it go? Where'd it go? This isn't a good time to lose things. Oh, geez, it's right in front of me. That's how dark it is. It's a sea glide fragment. So now a sea glide, that's like a little underwater scooter. Let's get out of here. So you can see sea glide fragment scanned. Overall progress is 1 out of 2. So I need 2 of those in order to get a sea glide. So that's kind of our job right now, is just to go around with this scanner. And anytime you see one of those little boxes, just go up and scan it and see what it is. And that's how you collect blueprints throughout the game to get all your different builds. So let's go around just for a minute and then see what we can find.
Seismic readings suggest a quantum detonation has occurred.
That means we're gonna blow up here in a minute.
The central dark matter reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus 10, 9, 8.
All right,
7,
let's watch this thing blow
6,
up and then we'll
5,
scan that.
4, 3, 2.
Where is it? Blasted debris all over the place. No, I don't think that hurts us in any way. But now if we go close to the ship, we'll get irradiated and die. Alright, let's see what this is. Another sea glide fragment. Awesome. So now we have the blueprint to make that. And to show you what the heck I'm talking about, if we open up our PDA and we go to blueprints, now in one of the last updates, not the latest one, but I think the one before that, they actually added every item into the blueprint section. So if you forget how to make something, you can just look it up by going into your blueprints. But the sea glide is that guy right there. So if we get a battery, lubricant, copper wire, and titanium, then we'll have a little underwater scooter that we can use. Now the other thing that we can do with the scanner is scan items. So we can go up to this metal salvage and scan it, and now it's going to add that into our encyclopedia. And I think what that means is we can just go in and read about it now to see, like you can scan marine life and some of the plants and things like that, and it'll actually teach you about them if you open up your encyclopedia. That's not something that I've done yet, but I guess it'll benefit you probably later in the game once you get a little further in. Oh, and one important thing is that ugly guy that just swam by me, you right there. You can either, oh, you're cute. You can either cook these guys, or you can actually make them into water. So if you go to your fabricator with an air sac, you can make water out of it. Oh, you're not supposed to be here. Let's get out of this area. Yeah, that guy's usually not that close to the shallows. Alright, so I think what we're going to do in the next episode is get our habitat builder. So we'll do a combination of, we'll get the habitat builder and scan for more blueprints, because what I'm after is the sea moth. That's kind of the first thing you want to get to do some really good exploring. And the sea moth is a personal submarine, which is really sweet, and it gets you all over the place. So I'm just going to see what we got here on my way back to the pod. There's usually not any of the fragments to scan in these shallows here. The deeper you go, the better the stuff. But that's also because the deeper you go, the more dangerous it is. Now here's a creature egg. I guess what you can do with those, I haven't done this yet, is when we make a habitat, or our base, we can put in an aquarium, and those creature eggs will actually hatch if you put them in your aquarium. So, alright, this is a perfect spot to wrap it up. So as always, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, leave me a like. I appreciate that as well. Ooh, I think that's a stalker tooth. Yeah, we can make stuff out of that. Alright, and I will see you guys next episode for more blueprint scanning, and we'll build our first habitat.